Meantime, the Eurozone, oil prices and security topped 4 days of discussions among world business and political leaders in Switzerland. Jack Barton is in Davos with a review of the World Economic Forum 2015.
Once again, the ideas and debates soared at the World Economic Forum in Davos, the highest town in Europe's snow-covered Alps. China's Premier Li Keqiang told delegates that China's economy would avoid a hard landing as it enters a phase of slower but more sustainable growth. During Li's visit, China and Switzerland agreed to establish an offshore renminbi market in Zurich, which will allow direct investment in Chinese financial markets and boost the RMB as a global currency. The key challenges in 2014 and the key issues for this year were also discussed at length and tended to overlap. They included the heightened risk of interstate war following the crisis in Ukraine, as well as a greater threat of terror attacks all around the world, with the rise of groups like ISIL in Syria and Iraq, as well as Boko Haram in Nigeria. In the West, the key fear is radicalized and battle-hardened citizens returning from abroad to launch domestic attacks. Oil was another hot issue that intermingled with climate change because lower prices have slowed the push towards green technologies. Cheap oil has delivered extra cash for consumers and businesses, but also deflationary pressures, and has already pushed the Eurozone into negative inflation. The Euro bloc, with its high unemployment and low growth, remains a deep concern to all. As usual, this year saw a number of records set, which included the size of China's delegation. A record number of guests were also helicoptered away to a record 1,700 private jets. There were other firsts, not all of them welcome. Just before the forum began, the Swiss central bank allowed the nation's currency to float freely. It then soared, making this the most expensive ever World Economic Forum. Despite all the sessions on gender equality, only 17% of delegates were women, though the US, Europe and China at least bucked that trend with 20% female attendance, though many grumbled that figure was still too low. The hope is more women will attend next year, and more attention can be paid to key issues largely put on the back burner this time, such as the planet's ever-warming climate and the growing gap between the rich and poor. Jack Barton, CCTV, the World Economic Forum in Davos.